हल्दर मिश्रा जी, आपको न्यूज न्यूज में स्वागत है। आपका जो किताब आप दिखा रहे हैं, बुद्धिज्म इन चाइना एंड जापान, हु इंस्पायर्ड यू टू राइट दिस बुक?
I dedicate this book to Sir C.P.N. Singh, Vice Chancellor of Patna University. Later on, he was appointed High Commissioner in Nepal. Later on, he was India Ambassador in Japan, then Governor of Punjab, then Governor of UP. He inspired me. I dedicate this book to him.
Next question, what content in this book?
That I am telling you. This book runs into 99 pages and contains is list of station, China, Buddhism in the Han period, first rendering of Buddhist text, the Sutra of 42 sections, inclination to dark learning, signification of Buddhism in China, Buddhism in the three kingdoms, China has split into north and south, the Sui and the Great Tang, Buddhist decline in China after the Tang, Neo-Confucianism, its Buddhist borrowings. Then Japan, Sotoku and Nara Buddhism, the Tendai-zi, its history, transition to the Heian period, Tendai and Shingon, Buddhism and Amitism, the religion of the common man. Amitism, the religion of the common man.
What is Nara Buddhism?
No, just again I'm
Okay.
Nichiren, founder of nationalist Buddhism, cult and culture of Jain. What is Jain? Three Jain terms: Jain and Japanese culture, Shinto and Ryobu Shinto. That index. I'm telling you, I'm reading it. What the work does not pertain to be one of fundamental research, and my main purpose has been to collect, arrange, and evaluate facts which specialists in this line have discovered. Buddhism was born in India and that also as an institutional religion in India. But Indian has a keen awareness of the role it played in her political and cultural history during the 17th and odd centuries, BC 5th century to AD 12th century, exhausted here as a living faith. The sense and awareness of it is emblazoned in the signs of a national flag and state insignia. To obviate difficulty for the general reader, I have used diacritical marks only for Sanskrit and Pali words and avoided them as far as possible for words of other languages, as the diacritical systems are not quite settled and agreed upon by scholars. Any writer who has studied the books in the bibliography could tell of the bones of Buddhism a Buddhist can reveal in its life. As Dr. J.B. Pratt says in his preface to the Pilgrimage of Buddhism, to give the feeling of an alien religion, it is necessary to do more than expound its concepts and describe its history. One must catch its emotional undertone, enter sympathetically into its sentiments, feel one's way into its symbols, its cults, its rare art, and then seek to impart these things not merely by scientific exposition, but in all sorts of indirect ways. This is true, and a book on Buddhism should be subject to this test. Not that Buddhism is an emotional religion. Indeed, by the usual test, it is not religion, so much as a spiritual philosophy, whose attitude to life is as cool and objective as that of the modern scientists. But it lives tremendously to the thousands of millions who are joyously trading today in the eightfold way to enlightenment. It is the essence of life itself, and only by living can its truth be known. Here I have tried to see the people of China and Japan through the Buddhist Perspectives. This book deals with evolution of Buddhism in China and Japan. Han period, Sui period, and Tang period have been discussed in detail. In the Japan section, Buddhism from Nara period has been recorded. I have deliberately not given more space to Korea. I have given more space in this book to Jain Buddhism. Page number 69 to 86 covers Jain Buddhism. I would like to thank MA students, Department of Buddhist Studies, University of Delhi for completion of this book. SM Haldhar, F18, Tutorial Building, Arts Faculty, University of Delhi, Delhi South. Date of these 18/7/2003.
But you say, Bharat, this book teach us in present time conflict in between China and India. This book, how this book help to sort out the problem of China and India, because India is the born of Buddhism and China follow Buddhism, and Japan and China also conflict in some parts of the border of China and Japan. मैं यह आपसे क्वेश्चन कर रहा हूँ कि प्रेजेंट टाइम में जो चाइना और भारत के बीच में जो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट चल रहा है एक तरफ, उसको समाप्त करने में आपकी किताब कैसे सहयोग करेगी, क्योंकि अगर भारत बौद्ध धर्म का उद्भव का देश है तो चाइना ने इसको फॉलो किया है, जापान भी बुद्धिज्म कंट्री है, लेकिन हिंद महासागर या और कुछ द्वीप को लेकर के चाइना जापान में बहुत ज़बरदस्त टकराव हो रही है, तो कैसे यह किताब उसको समाप्त करने में मदद करेगी?
This book itself and Buddhism itself, still there has not been a full-fledged war in Asia. If it has happened, day-to-day affairs, but it has been resolved through peacefully. And still, every dialogue is still going on. And only through dialogue, Buddhism says through dialogue only, all the like land issues or whatever border issues, it is only whatever in whole Asia, the Asian countries is conflicting in the Far East also, only the border dispute is there, not internal conflict is there. They are not agreeing with the border which has been decided by the colonial power earlier also. So still they are stick to the Buddhist principles of dialogue. Live and let live together. Honor your neighbor. Is the look far east policy also that India is following, and India is so still they are looking forward to resolve all this conflict with the borders, either with China and all that, which has been created by the colonial time. So they are looking, and only this book Buddhists are still they are following this scientific issue. Scientific, it is not religious, scientific attitude to see the world, to see the life, to resolve the conflict of day-to-day affairs.
Last question. Your book is Buddhism in China and Japan, but China doesn't follow Panchil principle of Buddhism, and this country say that China is not Buddhism religion. This is our principle. So why you write this book, Buddhism in China and Japan?
No, Japan is still a Buddhist country. There is Shintoism, China has a Confucianism and Japan has a, and how they
No, please listen my question.
I do understand your questions. You say that Japan is not following the policy of Panchil.
नहीं चाइना, मैं यह कह रहा हूँ कि चाइना जो है ये पंचशील सिद्धांत जो 1954 में भारत और चाइना के बीच में हुआ, वो भारत पर 1962 ईस्वी में आक्रमण करके उसको तोड़ दिया, और वो कहता है कि मेरा जो चीन जो देश है वो बौद्ध धर्म को मानता ही नहीं है। तो ये आपका किताब किस आधार पर आपने लिखा है?
No. How you say this book is not, this book is ancient time.
Okay.
The period I have already discussed. Ancient period.
Okay.
From the 5th or 6th century to 12th century AD.
Okay.
I have already mentioned that one. So this is of that, but still it is not dead. It is still following a still live religion and live practicing of the Asia.
Okay.
So this book looks to Far East. This book is covering of the Far East.
ओके ओके, थैंक यू सियाराम हल्दर मिश्रा जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद अनुप न्यूज।